Hello again, wrestling fans. We are live for our joint Smackdown and Rampage watch party. 3 hours of wrestling, 2 different shows, both of which should be a lot of fun. I'm your host, I'm Tom Collihue, and while spoiler warning is mostly at intense pace, flying through that news and just trying to get as much in as possible, the watch parties are much more chill, much more relaxed, much less to worry about, and involving a lot more of my new best friend. A lot more of my new best friend. Just, ow. Prick. So, the way these shows go is fairly standard. You'll come in. I react to SmackDown. You react to SmackDown. We ask questions. We have a chat. It's very, very chilled out. Austin Palmer is here. Welcome, Austin. Says, I heard about Sasha might not be there tomorrow. I don't know if it's true or not. I saw Sportskeeda post it. PW Insider are the source of this rumor. They're also the source of the rumor that the match would happen, and they're also the source of the rumor that the match would not happen. Basically, nobody knows at this point, but Sasha's already there. Sasha's in Vegas. I can confirm Sasha's in Vegas. So, I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I really don't know what they think is going on. Lots of questions. Lots of questions. Hopefully, if we see a Bianca Belair segment to promote the match tonight, chances are Sasha's going to be there tomorrow. But honestly, if this all ends up being absolutely nothing and we just get the match tomorrow, I do think we're going to have to ask some serious questions about the outlets who've been reporting this. Hey, Ethan, how you doing, mate? I believe you have a question for me. Go ahead. But welcome to the Twitch. Hello, Moxie. How are you? How is everyone? Did everyone enjoy Nick and Tom's earlier? I know it wasn't as interactive as we usually are because it was a live recording, but I still felt it could be a lot of fun. Some of that standard wrestling analysis, I'm not particularly well known for as a group, but it's nice. It's nice for me to introduce you to some of my friends and my colleagues sometimes. We'll be doing another one soon with Brillman and Mags. I've just got to sort an official date for that. We also, of course, during spoiler warning, had ourselves a hype train, a level 2 hype train, for which I'm very, very grateful. That's been a big help because when I started streaming 3 hours ago for spoiler warning, we had 317 followers on Twitch. And now we have 325. 8 new followers. Fantastic. Even says, what is this work she's doing in Vegas? Because I missed it. She's doing ambassadorial work. Essentially, her job is to go out there and sell SummerSlam to Vegas. And that's exactly what she's been doing for several weeks. She's been taking pictures with several of the bosses of the casinos. She's been hyping up fans with meet and greets. Nowadays, everyone from Raw is already there. Charlotte's been doing meet and greets today. And that's all Sasha's been doing. It's ambassadorial work. She's been doing it for a while. I am, as you guys know, watching on BT Sport. Hopefully today it behaves. If it can just behave, that's all I ask. But yeah, on Monday it was basically unwatchable because of all that. Fingers crossed today it's much more manageable. Fingers crossed. SmackDown starts in just a moment. Edge will be there, whereas he wasn't last week. Even though he wasn't last week, we haven't heard anything about his match being called off, which is telling, I feel. In addition to that, we have Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso. Jey clearly being positioned as the guy above Jimmy in this one. Austin, yeah, CM Punk's there. CM Punk is there. Ethan says, thanks, hope she beats Bianca. I don't necessarily hope for it. I think Bianca's done very, very well, but I do think Sasha will beat Bianca. I think it's a better story, and that's the key thing for me. Right, let me announce on Twitter. Live now. joined Smackdown and AEW Rampage watch party. Also featuring plenty of news you can't find anywhere else. I think I'll share the Twitch link today. Good news on the YouTube front. And the good news there is that we have just hit 680 subscribers on YouTube, which is a new record. 680, only 20 more to 700. 20 more is really not many, is it? So, happy Tom. The show is opening of Edge. Welcome, Megan. How are you? Megan saying greetings all. How are you, Megan? I'm a little tired, but I know I'll be up until 4:30 anyway, so fingers crossed it all goes well. Moxie says SmackDown will be great today. Hopefully. Hopefully. SmackDown's been very good for a number of weeks. All I want is more of the same. Ethan says, what will Bianca do tonight without Banks there? Anything. Cut to promo, take on Carmella, take on Zelina. Literally anything. Megan says, doing better than I was the other day, to say the least. Excited to see the reactions to tonight. Me too. How are you feeling? I believe it was the second jab you were having the issue with. More and more, I feel lucky to have escaped any serious repercussions for mine. Dry throat, always solved by wine. Edge feels a lot more like a regular appearance maker now that he's taken on Seth. He's been on SmackDown now for a number of weeks. He feels like he belongs a bit more. He feels like less of a special attraction, and that's a positive. That's a good thing. He needed that moment. He needed that opportunity. Megan says, second jab. Then ended up having to go to hospital the other day with abdominal pains. Nothing major. I got medication to help. I'm really sorry to hear that, Megan. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's never a good thing. Naturally, as is SmackDown, we're actually starting with a recap. WWE, I tell you, they'll never learn on that one. Hey, Dylan, how you doing, mate? Says, hey, Tom, glad to see you again. And you, Dylan, welcome back, mate. Happy to see you. Hang on, I missed. Hi, Michael, how you doing? Dylan says, are you really staying around for Rampage? That's the plan, yes. I have every intention of staying for Rampage and reacting, because it's a 1 hour show, isn't it? SmackDown's fun. I enjoy watching SmackDown. It's not like, pardon me, it's not like Raw. It's a fun show. So I'll watch our 2 hour enjoyable show and then watch an hour of AEW. It's different. We'll like to have CM Punk. You know, lots going on. So I'm probably going to try and watch that. Megan says, yeah, we get to see last week's suit again. We get a number of suits, most of which are ridiculous and horrible. Nice of Seth to come out and say that Becky Lynch is kind of responsible for a lot of them. Always nice to hear. Bailey says, I'm not watching Rampage. Growing tired of Tony Khan becoming the face of AEW, making it more of a personal grudge with Vince and staying out the limelight. Too many WCW vibes for me. I get what you're saying, and I think that's very fair. And that's a very fair comment. We'll see as to how involved Tony Khan is when it comes to CM Punk. That's the big question. Michael says AEW better deliver big tonight. Well, they don't really have a choice. Happy to hear Dylan saying, very happy to hear you doing an AEW show. Always wanted to talk AEW with you. Well, you get the opportunity. You will certainly get the opportunity. You can talk AEW as much as you want. The issue is I don't really watch that much of it. So it's difficult. Like if I was doing this full time, I'd probably be doing Dynamite watch parties and I'd be doing Rampage watch parties all the time. But I have to do a 9 to 5 job at the same time. I have to sort of pick favorites. It's one of the reasons I don't do NXT watch parties. I did the math. I'll be streaming for more than 20 hours over the next 4 days. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Edge has a chair in the ring. Good chant. Spotlight. Logically, a Seth attack from behind is logical. How do I watch Rampage? I've basically got a 7-day free subscription to Fight TV. It's my free trial. So it's just for this week. If I like it, I might stick around. Good so far from Edge. The werewolf of Outer Cause, as Nick referred to him earlier. Bailey says, for those that missed it, spoiler warning was another big success. They need to catch it on what should be a busy Monday. They do, and let's look at the. I'd actually like to look at the numbers. We hit a new record on Monday. Monday's numbers were absolutely fantastic. That's not the right page. Yeah, Monday's numbers were an average viewership of 43. To put that into perspective, if I can get a viewership of 75 average viewership, I will be partner. And that's the point at which you become full-time, when you hit partner. So it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Let's have a look at what we did with spoiler warning today. Average viewership with spoiler warning and the SummerSlam preview combined was at 24. We peaked during spoiler warning halfway through at 45 viewers. Thank you very much, Huddle Talk TV, for the raid. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. We were just talking about spoiler warning, which is our general news show. Which we hit a peak of 45 viewers on the show earlier today, which is absolutely fantastic. As Dylan says, we got a hype train going. For the people who came in from Huddle Talk TV, I am Tom Collihew. I'm doing a watch party of Smackdown and of Rampage today, but my usual big shows, as it were, are spoiler warning shows where we share wrestling news that you can't get anywhere else, and that is Monday and Friday, 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. EST. We also do Raw, Smackdown watch parties. Tonight we're doing Rampage. If I get hooked, I'll stick around with it. Austin says, also heard AEW got another big acquisition coming. Meltzer has mentioned that, yes, and we did talk about that earlier today on Spoiler Warning too. That was a fun one. Megan says, sorry I missed it earlier. Sounds like I missed a good time. No need to be sorry. It's one of those. If you're there, I'm very glad to have you. If you're not there, oh well, you'll catch the next one. I'm not particularly worried. But yeah, it was a fun one. The fact that I was limited to an hour meant I had to be fast-paced for quite a lot of it, but it was good. As Dylan points out, we got Tom a nice hype train. He did lots of subscriptions, lots of gift subs, lots of bits. We got to level 2, completed level 2, which is fantastic. How do I think Punk will come out tonight? On his feet. And Michael says we'll be seeing way too much of you this weekend. Absolutely you will. Far too much. And that's one of the reasons I'm really happy to have one of these nice chill watch parties. Spoiler warning can get pretty intense. So it's nice to have these watch parties sometimes and just breathe out a little bit. The intensity of Edge's promo would have been helped by him not hitting a catchphrase at the end. The catchphrase was just a bit too much. Good intensity, but you really undermined it with that. I'm going to burn you down. I can tell there's a script there, you know? Jay and Dominic are talking backstage. Dominic's getting overexcited. Ethan, I don't know, mate. I don't know. And I don't want to spoil everything. This is not spoiler warning. Jarrett says, father versus son coming soon. I can see it. There are genuine hints there. I hope it doesn't happen soon, but I can definitely see it. Plus, to be fair, it should be a good match. So our first match will be the continuation of the Mysterios versus the Usos feud, which should be wrapped up at SummerSlam. Dean says, hi, welcome, Dean. Glad to see you, mate. And Devin says, hopefully tonight CM Punk. No, tonight is CM Punk night, mate. Can confirm. CM Punk is there. The Mysterios have matching t-shirts, which is nice. It's always nice. I love that Ray still rides his son. I wonder if he still beats his son at WWE 2K14. That was like one of the most infamous tweets when he literally said, can't wait to get home and beat my son. Yeah. Bill says, hello, welcome, Bill. So how are you doing, man? Hope you enjoyed the SummerSlam preview earlier. Hope you enjoyed that. Devin says, you know how Punk said he's going to be in Chicago for a scanning? What if that is for CM Punk to be in the AEW video game? Well, no, he's there to be at an AEW show, mate. He's there. He's going to debut tonight. Yeah, we had ourselves a recap. I'd imagine we're going to get a Jey Uso promo, and then we're off into commercial break. Dean says, I liked your video. Thank you, Dean. Please do remember, if you're watching on YouTube, click the like button. That does help me grow. As of today, we've reached 680 subscribers, which is an extra 4 for the day so far. A very, very good number. Hopefully, a number that we can only see grow over time. I'm losing my voice, and that's going to be awkward. So hopefully that's not a long-term thing. That could be awkward. That could genuinely be awkward. Oh, Megatron. Oh, Megatron. How the devil are you? Welcome. Welcome. Devin says, did you hear Joe's mashup? Joe Mashup's remake of Baron Corbin's Sad Theme Darkness. I have not. That could be fun. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that. Bill says, yeah, good, mate. Thanks for the heads up about Fight TV too. Yeah, Fight TV seems to be the only way to watch AEW right now. A lot of people are doing it. Get some Manukau money. Manukau honey. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, I had salted caramel pretzels earlier. That was pretty sweet. Had them in the bath as well. Because I'm a fucking mess. Like, in a good way. In a good way. I'm a fucking mess. Yes, our growth today has been very, very good. 8 new followers on Twitch. That's a fantastic number. The quote tweet system is really working. We are essentially mining followers from Twitter at the moment, and everyone seems to be having a good time and seem very happy to be mined. That's pretty sweet. I'm never going to complain about it. Meanwhile, we have a very good SmackDown to watch today. I'm confident it's going to be a good show. We have Rampage to watch, of course, CM Punk. CM Punk, I tell you. I'm hyped for it. Not as hyped as a lot of people, but still hyped. Still hyped. But in the meantime, we do have SmackDown to enjoy. If you did see spoiler warning earlier, we had some news about Brock Lesnar. We had some news about Becky Lynch, about Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, and some news against CM Punk and AJ Mendez, a name that a lot of you will not have heard for a long time, but she's doing very, very good things right now and seems unlikely to be joining a wrestling company anytime soon. That said, if she walks out tonight, that could also be fun. Thank you, Dean. I very much appreciate you saying that. Anything that can help the channel grow, I'm very grateful for. My hope is to eventually be able to do this full time. Getting to that 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is a key component of that. Oh, Jay Quick enjoying that promo. Michael saying AJ to AEW confirmed. Oh, totally. Totally confirmed. Absolutely. And thank you to everyone who just popped over to YouTube to click like on the video. Appreciate that. Austin says, I missed it earlier, the news about Brock and AJ. Yeah, unfortunately, spoiler warning is Twitch exclusive. So if you don't currently follow or watch on Twitch, then you will not be getting that news until it's released on YouTube. Or you can watch the video on demand on Twitch. But if it's one of those, I have to have something unique to Twitch because that's the game plan going forwards. I'll do some live streams on YouTube, but it's mostly just watch parties at this point. People in the arena today have basically just had 10 minutes of Rey Mysterio's theme, which is a banger. Like I'll permit that it's a banger, but at the same time, maybe not. Jey Uso's on his way out. Jimmy Uso in tow. Good pop for Jey. Jay Quick says, busy night for wrestling. The Impact Special, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, SmackDown, AEW, 205 Live, and New Japan Strong. Yeah, it's at this point, there's too much wrestling, isn't there? You have to sort of be a bit of a mercenary in deciding which show you want to watch and which show you want to commit to. Elson said, I would be hyped if Brock returned. Then be hyped, sir. Be hyped. Because we've opened with Edge versus Rollins as a feud, there's two ways to do this. We could have the Rollins section in the draw segment, but I think it's more likely that Bianca Belair will be the draw segment this week. That Matt says, hey, Tom, welcome that, Matt. It's the start of a big weekend in wrestling. Are you hyped or no? Yes, I am. I'm genuinely hyped. I'm also losing my voice and I'm very tired. So I may not come across like that. Pardon me, but I am genuinely hyped. Megan says, given the choice of having either the Uso or Mysterio theme on a loop, I'd be fine either way. They are both very good. Okay, there's some bad ones, but not many on SmackDown. Bilsa says, why is SmackDown so much better than Raw? Do they have different writers? Somewhat, yeah. Not all the writers are exclusive, but I think it's more the fact that on SmackDown, the wrestlers just take more agency. Wrestlers are more confident going up to the writing team and saying, hi, I just don't want to have a script. Sasha Banks isn't scripted anymore. Seth Rollins has formally announced that he's not scripted anymore. Edge hasn't been scripted the whole time. Roman Reigns and John Cena aren't scripted. It's real. It's real, and that's the big difference. Omega just shouts, Tegan Knox. Hopefully we do see her tonight. We've had some Tegan and Shotzi versus Tamina. There's stuff there. Matt says there's some benefits to living in the US. Don't I know it? I do have the option at some point of just moving to Vegas for a while. That'd be pretty cool. It'd be very, very hot, but I'd tan nicely. And really, isn't that what we all want? We just all want a tan. JQ says, geez, I'll look at my watch. It's almost clobbering time. It is. Hour and a half. The time difference is way different. It's currently 1:20 in the morning here. But the thing is, I'm going to be tired tonight. I got a lot of shows coming up. A lot of shows. I've got SummerSlam tomorrow, which is going to be a 6-hour show in itself. And of course, I'll be starting before SummerSlam, so I'm going to be streaming for 6.5 hours in a row. We've got NXT TakeOver on Sunday. I'll be sleeping most of Sunday, I suspect. And then on Monday, I'm up until 4 a.m. for Raw, so yay. Moxie says, I thought it was Ray versus Jimmy. It's not, it's Jey Uso today. Moxie says Raw is a weak show. It is. It was not fun this week. We get the same thing on Raw. Well, hopefully after SummerSlam when Adam Cole's there, that'll change. And Jay Quick says, we'll carry you through the weekend. Thank you, Jay Quick. I very much appreciate that. The overall level of success right now is genuinely keeping me awake, so that's pretty cool. But the Weather Channel is currently 36 degrees in Vegas right now, 96 in the US. Yeah, that's too hot. That's too hot for me. That's too hot. I would melt. But to be honest, I think I just have to stay indoors and stream. But I'd be fine with that. Mox says maybe Adam versus Bobby. I think it's too soon for that. We did speak about that a little bit earlier on spoiler warning, of course, so who knows. And Matt says, think Ray loses to further the storyline with him and Dom? No, I think Ray wins and then they both lose in the tag team match. Megan says, SummerSlam, TakeOver, The Walking Dead, Raw, and Gamescom is how my week is looking. You are You are packed with stuff, aren't you? Packed. I've been meaning to ask you, Megan, if I want to write something about gaming in general, do I approach you as the editor of Independent to make my pitch? And if so, is there an email address I should be contacting? Ethan says, who will be Banksy's next victim if she wins? I don't know, Ethan. You've already asked this. I don't know. Megan says, 36 is a no for me. Anything above 20 degrees is a no for me, to be honest. Yeah, same. I'm okay with 23, maybe 24. After that, goes crazy. Goes crazy. You also talking about that. Megan says, you apply to be a contributor first, then come to me. Okay, so am I not pitching? Am I not doing a formal pitch? Is it a case of apply and then be like, okay, well, I want to write this? All right, it's a system, I guess. Someone 7 is here saying, hey, Tom, welcome, someone 7. Very much like the image there. And Brandon's here as well saying, I am here. How? How have you not gone to bed? How are you still awake? How? It's insane. But welcome, mate. Glad to see you. We are currently in our second commercial break. Jey Uso is in an ongoing match with Rey Mysterio. Ooh, Michael asking the key questions. Wonder if our friend S will be joining us. I do wonder. I think our friend S might be in Vegas interviewing wrestlers at the moment. Austin says, I know I've said this before, but Shayna would be way better on SmackDown. I've agreed with you before, and I'll agree with you in future, I'm sure. She would be. She absolutely would be. Megan says, very interested in partaking in whatever way I can now that you reminded me it's happening. Well, Gamescoms are coming. Essentially, if I'm going to be doing game streams, I'm thinking maybe getting into some games coverage would be good. Naturally, as I know a game editor or a games news editor, I may reach out. After all, I think I have a decent Twitter following. I have a decent Twitch following. I think I could bring some viewers, bring some readers. I think I could work something out. But in the meantime, my focus, of course, is on growing the Twitch and the YouTube. Twitch now on 325 followers. This time last week, we were on 280. We've gained 45 followers in a week. Gotcha, Megan. Understood. Matt says, connection is what I need to further my current career path. What is your current career path then, Matt? Let's talk about it. And King of Pro, welcome to the show, says, do you know what happened with Sasha and Bianca with them didn't show in live events? No, nobody does. Everyone's just making up responses at this point. Nobody knows what happened. It could be anything. It could have been that a car broke down. Could have been that a bus broke down. Could have been they missed their plane. Could have been that the hotel wanted more money than they paid for their hotel room, and they had an argument before checkout. There is just a plethora of possible options, most of which, honestly, I'm not excited by, and a lot of which don't have anything to do with the possibility of the whole thing falling apart. Okay, Matt, so what do you see as your future? Let's talk about it. What do you see as your future? And how can we help? Wow. Bloody hell, Michael. You're having fun, aren't you? Thank you very much, Michael Latina, with 1,500 bits. The bits will go directly into the fund for a new streaming PC, so I'm very grateful for them. Thank you. Every little helps. And by the end of next month, I will be seeing how much I've got and just doing whatever I can and buying a PC for whatever much that is. I have like a dream unit, but that's going to be a big ask, and I don't think I can afford it. But it would mean the gaming streams can come back, and it means I'd get a little bit more time. That is true, Michael. I could use a new laptop. That's very true. Very true. Thank you very much for that, Michael. I really do appreciate it. Matt says, my education is in technology and management with a bachelor and master's degree, but I'm at a point where I can switch things up if I want to. My wife has her doctorates, So we're kind of prioritizing her career path. What you've done there is, Matt, is giving me a lot of information, none of which pertains to the question I asked. What do you see your future being? What do you want to do? King of Pro says, who do you think should beat Roman Reigns? Should Shinsuke Nakamura? Will Drew McIntyre? Thank you, Michael. I very much appreciate the generosity. It's been a very good day for that as well. We had the hype train earlier on. A number of gift subs, a number of new subs. There's a lot of good happening right now. It's giving me a lot of confidence going forwards. If we can keep up our current growth over the course of the next 2 months or so, leading into the end of the year, I'm feeling very confident about my future here on Twitch. And in fact, my future on YouTube, where we continue to grow very well and very quickly. 680 subscribers, nothing to sniff at. A very good number. $681, my mistake. King and Pro says, did you see an image of WWE 2K22 of Edge? I did. He looks a hell of a lot better than he used to. Hell of a lot better. Matt says, well, what do I see my future being, and what do I want to do? Tough questions, because I enjoy doing many things. Things that I most want to do, I can't, because I'd either have to move away from my wife or I don't have the experience, education to do. You just tell us what it is, and then we'll see if that's actually reality, because quite often people talk themselves out of their dreams. Who says that's necessary? I never thought I'd be doing the presentation stuff that I'm doing now, and yet here I am. I could move with the current presentations that I'm doing. I could move and still do Twitch and YouTube and the like. I could do anything. The match is still ongoing as we approach the final pass of our first half hour. Rey Mysterio really hyping up the crowd at this point. Jay taking a very, very good DDT. Brandon says, yeah, glad we got confirmation we're going to get some stuff at SummerSlam for 2K22. We should get plenty. Dominic going for the cheat. He's caught. He's going to get thrown out. He's getting thrown out. That's a distraction for Rey. Megan says, people talking themselves out of their dreams. That's me, I'm afraid. Will hype everyone I know who isn't me. For the longest time, that was me as well. For the longest time, that was me. I have made other people a lot of money. And they've made me basically nothing. Eventually, January this year, I sat down and said to myself, it's time to let all that fall away, and it's time to look after yourself a little bit. And here I am. This is me trying to build a career for myself. And hey, kind of working. So Megan, what's your dream? Talk to me. Matt says, if I can be a technology manager, which I've studied for, I would love to. Probably makes the most sense too. Why would you have to move away for that? Work from home jobs are increasing as technology, so there is plenty of opportunities that are available for it. King of Pro says, how would your streaming room be like and how would you do it? Well, it would kind of be like this, as it were. This is technically my streaming in my office. So obviously I'd need to do some differences. I want to get like a bookshelf or something here, or even just some posters. I want some color, basically, is what I'm saying. Jay Quick says, CM Punk is probably looking like, I remember Smackdown. Yeah, he never enjoyed Smackdown all that much. Looks like it's Baron Corbin time. Baron Corbin is walking out with the briefcase in his arms. He's going to get beat up by Big E. That's a big boo. Brandon says, do we have a main eventer tonight yet, or is it just going to be the final promo between Roman and Cena to end things? It will be the final promo between Roman and Cena to end things. Baron Corbin is wrestling. Matt says, things I'd like to do. Mostly it's more about being in a place I like more than doing what I like. I'd like to be useful at a company I admire. I understand that. Corbin will take on Kevin Owens again. I'd imagine Big E is going to have something to say about that. Going to start putting in a big search soon, mostly for technology positions where I'm living at the moment. Jobs are more scarce and doesn't pay as well. Yeah, but it's a start, and that's the thing. It may be a case that if you can start in a field you enjoy, start in a field you enjoy. Like, I've worked so many jobs I've hated. So many jobs I've hated. Streaming, I genuinely feel like I belong. I enjoy it. I'm having a great time. A great time. People want to be the Souser of Wrestling. I do not understand that reference, unfortunately, King of Pro. Michael says, I love this new character of Corbin. Me too. Corbin was always my guy, but this is like really my guy. Jay Quick says, how many people within WWE do you think will be watching Rampage to see if Punk actually appears? The vast majority of them. The vast majority. All of NXT is actively planning to do so. Jermaine says, hey, Tom, I know I've asked you earlier on Twitch about Sasha versus Bianca, but now Mike Johnson from Peter Inside is telling everybody that Sasha is not in Phoenix, Arizona. What is going on? She was always going to be missing this week because she's already in Vegas. She's doing ambassadorial work in Vegas, and that's very clear if you look at her Instagram, if you look at the if you look at any of the pictures she's been uploading to social media. I don't get the issue here. But we'll see. We'll see if the match goes on, but last I heard it was absolutely fine. Brandon says, why is he facing KO again when he has Big E's briefcase? Well, I'd imagine the Big E taking the briefcase is supposed to be more of a surprise, and the ongoing feud really is between Corbin and Kevin Owens. Matt says, I have 10 plus years of experience in technology and education, feel like I'm a great asset to any team. For this reason, I don't feel desperate and I'm being choosy as far as jobs go. Good answer. That's a very good answer. Michael says, I was never much a fan of Peter Inside myself. Sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that. And Matt says, sorry to take up stream time with my job stuff. I literally asked you to talk about this, Matt. I literally pressed you to keep talking about it, and you're apologizing because I asked you for something and you've responded. It's okay. All right? It's all right. Talk to me. Tell me. If there is a way I can help people here fulfill a dream or even just inch slightly towards it, I want to do it. Megan says, I originally wanted to work in video editing or film TV production. Would still like to do that, but maybe in a gaming streaming way or actually for a wrestling company. Well, do you keep your eye on the do you keep your eye on the Gamer Network job applications? Because there's a lot of job opportunities that pop up there for a number of different aspects that you may very much enjoy. Also, if you are interested in video editing and stuff, you can always look at Cultaholic. They're usually looking for video editors. Possibilities. King of Pro says, do you trust Peter Insider? I don't fully trust anyone, but I have known Peter Insider to delete articles that have been proven wrong before. No worries, Matt. Whatever works for you. Brandon says, if I can stay awake, I have a chocolate orange and milk chocolate cookie to enjoy whilst watching yourself and Smackdown / AEW Rampage. That'll perk you right up. That will perk you right up. Oh, I'm losing my voice. Megan says, the issue I have right now of editing is that I'm very out of practice. Why don't you do some editing of your streams? You know, get into the practice again. If I was earning enough, I'd say to you, I'll give you this much to edit down spoiler warning. And that's good practice, but unfortunately I'm not earning anything at the minute. Jake says, my daughter had her 8th grade orientation yesterday. Hard to believe it'll be her last year in junior high. They grow up very fast, mate. My niece is about to turn 12. And I'm not ready for it. She's nearly a teenager. I remember when I was a teenager. I'm not ready for it. Kevin Owens is making his way down to the big screen. Kevin Owens will definitely be watching AEW Rampage later. Jermaine says, I'm sorry that I had to ask you about Sasha versus Bianca. Last I heard and read, she was in Vegas doing promotional work with Big E and Titus O'Neil for a water bottle company out there. Yep. Which is, of course, where she is right now. King of Pro PW Insider has definite sources at the Performance Center. They have a source directly in Gorilla, based on reports that they've made, so they have sources. Mainly says, I could never edit my own content, can't stand the sound of my own voice. Neither could I. You do get used to it. You do get used to it. Jake said, she's the best thing to happen to me because I took her as my own after her biological dad walked out of her life. I'll never understand why people do that. My dad did very much the same. Moxie says, AEW Rampage will be fire. Hopefully. Hopefully. We can't guarantee it. Not yet. But hopefully. I'm excited for it. This is ultimately a rematch between Owens and Corbin. Has he ripped his pants? Has Corbin ripped his pants? He's ripped his pants. Corbin has torn the crotch of his pants open and has done nothing about it. I love it. Jay Quick says AW will be a clobbering good time. Megan says, my dad was amazing. Lucky to have had the time I had with him before he passed. My dad walked out day one. And the brief times I've spoken to him since, he just blamed my mother for it. Basically, by the end of it, I just told him to fuck off, and that's that. Brandon says, if Punk doesn't show up in the flesh tonight, I fear for all the riots after all the build-up. Yeah, it's going to be a bit crazy. It's going to be a bit crazy. King of Process Survivor Series is going to take place at the Barclays Center. Cool. I know nothing about US arenas, so unfortunately, I can't say much of anything about that, other than cool. Corbin's wearing green underwear. It's always nice. That beard is he's starting to really make its way all over his face now, isn't it? Nice senton. I'll never understand why Kevin Owens senton can't win a match, but a Jeff Hardy one can. Don't make sense to me. Don't make sense. Owens going for the frog splash. Corbin rolling out. Jay Quick says, yo, Corbin, do you feel a breeze? He's freeballing. He's having a great time. He's having a great time. King of Pro says, NXT going to feature in Survivor Series? No. No. Not at all. I do advise King of Pro, if you haven't already, I do advise for if you miss like spoiler warnings and stuff, you can catch up by popping over and subscribing to the YouTube, where I share a lot of news and a lot of videos there. Big E is coming down as expected to reclaim his championship. To reclaim his briefcase. He got a microphone by the look of it. Is that a microphone? No, he just got a really clenched fist. He and Corbin have both just ran for the briefcase. And now Big E's just beating the crap out of him. Technically, that's a DQ loss for Kevin Owens, but I think he'll be all right with it. Jay Quick says, Vince is like, what is NXT? Who's ever heard of it? Who's heard of it? Mega says, I'm kind of mad about no NXT because as things stand, some of those matches would have been amazing. Joe versus Lashley versus Roman. It'll be forever be a crime that we've never been able to get that. Corbin flees out through the crowd. And it looks like this particular Big E Corbin feud's going to go a little while longer. Which is good, because it's a fun one. It gives them both something to do. King of Pro, WWE aren't going to do the Las Vegas tryout. They've already started. They've already signed 15 or 16 people. Michael says, if Nikki loses a belt at SummerSlam, would you consider her winning the briefcase a mistake? No, not necessarily. To be clear. Bianca Belair is on TV. Tomorrow night, you defend your title against Sasha Banks, they say. It's just sounding like garbage at this point. It's sounding like fake news. Repetitive fake news. And they're benefiting financially from the fake news. Brandon says, oh, shucks, he is wearing a New Day shirt. Those three guys love each other. They love each other. It's that simple. They should never have broken them up. They love each other. Why would you break that up? It's wrong. It's wrong. We have a recap of WrestleMania. Oh, That is such a big welt. King of Pro says Apollo didn't do that much since winning the IC title. It's true that he didn't, and he has, of course, lost it now. If you are watching on YouTube, please do remember to click like on the video. That's a big help to me in the growth of the channel and the individual video. It makes a big difference, and it can find me some new subscribers, which of course means more growth, more on Twitch, closer and closer to making a living doing this, which is sort of the dream at this point and would mean a lot more content coming your way. So please, if you can, remember to click like. Megan says, the sooner the New Day reunites, the better for me and for me. I'm absolutely with you there. I don't think it's long now. Brandon says, imagine Corbin tries cashing it in on Cena versus Reigns or Goldberg versus Lashley at SummerSlam, only for E to take him out and officially cash it in himself to win the title. There's a lot of possibilities with the briefcase. I think the fact that Big E doesn't have it just means it's going to last for quite a while. Maybe to Survivor Series. And Michael says, so the match is happening, but it's not happening, but it is happening. Yeah, but it's not happening, and it is happening. Basically, at this point, the WWE has given us no indication that the match isn't going ahead. PW Insider is the only ones reporting that there's any problem with the match. So maybe it's time to walk away from PW Insider on this one and tell them to stop. Just stop re-reporting it. It should be that simple. Just stop re-reporting something which has already been proven false. But hey, maybe tomorrow it all falls apart. Brandon says Bianca should have just done a Brock and launched the table at Sasha and co. Well, to be fair, the over-the-top flip was pretty cool too. Sounds like Bianca versus Zelina tonight. Okay, it sounds like Bianca's having 2 matches tonight. Bianca also has no backup. She is competing twice. King of Pro says the women always cash in fast and men hold it for a long time. Largely, yeah, that's true. I don't think there's been one very, very long briefcase hold, and that's the Carmella hold, which was the first. But other than that, the women have been spending them quickly. My apologies, guys. My apologies. I'm very tired. Megan said, Smackdown is full of very angry people tonight. Apparently so. Ethan says, why too? Storyline reasons. Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox are making their way down to the ring. Bringing their tank with them. Logically, this is just going to be another match against Tamina. But hey, we at least... Natalia's back. Told you guys it won't be long. Up next, a championship contenders match. Nox and Shotzi, who are getting pretty good reactions from the crowd, will take on tag team champions Tamina and Natalya. It's been a little while for Natalya. I hope she's welcomed back properly. Michael says it's actually a good way to not have the so-and-so stands tall on the go-home show, so he's therefore losing. Yeah, but even that's only 50-50. People put way too much stock in that. How is the show? I like it so far. So far, so good. I'm having fun. I always worry in these watch parties that I'm just not very entertaining. But people seem to enjoy it, so I'll take it. King of Pro says, did the WWE use fake crowd noise? Yeah, they use it a lot. Not so much on SmackDown. It's mostly a Raw thing. Jay Quick says, Sasha Banks, a little advice, avoid the hair whip. We'll see if that's advice that she can follow. Because that ain't going to be easy. Bianca Belair has a lot of hair. Like a lot of hair. Thank you for the quote tweet, Bailey. I will be retweeting that now. Thank you kindly. I hope, by the way, that I hope everyone is enjoying the whole quote tweet system that I've got going. I think it's largely responsible for the growth that I'm receiving right now. the amount of quote tweets that I'm getting from you guys, the support that you guys are giving me, and I hope you guys get a benefit from it as well. I would hope so. Moxie says, do I think Sasha is winning? I've answered this question so many times. Yes, I think Sasha is winning. Oh, Megan has brought the stats. The King of Pro as regards women not holding it for long, with the exception of Carmella, who holds the overall record for both men and women of 287 days. Asuka also held the case unofficially for 25-ish days, but doesn't count due to tape delays. And that is the longest, is it? Because that's not good. That's not good. They always try and get rid of one nice and quick. I thought this year they'd flip the script, but apparently not. King of Pro says, are you in Twitch Prime? I don't know what you mean by in Twitch Prime. I don't personally have a Twitch Prime account, but I know several people who do, and they use their Twitch Primes to subscribe to the channel. Jay Quick says, I figured out why Baron Corbin took off. He wanted to be back at his hotel to watch Rampage. Yeah, it's nothing to do with the briefcase. It's nothing to do with Big E. He just wanted to make sure he watched Rampage. Baron Corbin is one of the only people who are not likely to be watching Rampage tonight. There's some news for you. Megan says, it is. Alexa had it for just under 3 hours. Bailey was an hour and a half, and Nikki was a day. Yeah, it's very brief stuff. What time is Rampage on? It's on right after SmackDown. So in UK time, that's 3 a.m. In US time, Eastern Standard Time, I believe that's 10 p.m. But it's only on for an hour, so we're trying it. We're trying it. I don't know how my delay will work out. I don't know how Fight TV works in that regard, but I'm going to do the best I can. Sound of rolling dice is like music in the air. 'Cause I'm a gambling boogeyman, although I don't play fair. Right, okay, we're back to SmackDown. We are nearly halfway through. Bianca Belair has appeared, but not wrestled as of yet, but she does have 2 matches, which means technically we have 3 women's matches this week. Logan Paul will return to the WWE to appear on Moist TV on Raw this week. That is the WWE panicking and appealing to casuals. I really like Tegan Knox's gear. I don't like that it's green, but I really like the gear. Thank you very much for the follow, Lil Tortilla Boy. Much appreciated. Welcome to the show. You will get notifications for every spoiler warning that we do, which is our news show. You don't get notifications for the watch parties, but they are here, and I look forward to seeing you joining. You can ask questions. Thank you very much. It makes me look buffer than I am, and usually I wear it with white jeans. Not so today, but it's nice. So thank you, Little Tortilla Boy, for saying that. Just saying, I got a follow for that shirt. Yeah, you can lurk, you can chat, whatever works for you. You're very welcome. Thank you for following. Ethan, why is that a question? Why is that a question, mate? I think you know when your birthday is. Megan says, no, and hell no to any Logan Paul. Don't watch Raw, mate. Brandon says, I'm going to have to tune into Raw for fucking Logan Paul. I love how diverse a group we've got here. Brock Marsh, you say, welcome, Brock. Says, is Sasha versus Bianca still happening tomorrow night? As of right now, yes, it is. Brandon says, I thought Natalya was supposed to be out longer. She wasn't. She recovered nice and quick. I believe I said here that she was not going to be out for long. They didn't expect her to be back quite this quickly, otherwise she would have been on the SummerSlam pre-show having this match. But no, here she is, and away we go, and she seems fine. She just did a basement dropkick, and it was the ankle that was a problem, so everything's working. You'll just got to pay attention when I say stuff. King of Pro says, is Baron Corbin's gimmick actually for real? Does he need money? No, it's not real. It's kayfabe. And Little Tortilla Boy says, I would prefer Logan Paul with Nick Gage in GCW. I like you. Megatron says the amount of people who still think Bianca Sasha could be cancelled. I can't sit here and say it definitely won't. I can't see the future, but there is no reason for it to be. Sasha isn't at SmackDown. Yes, that's true. That was the plan. She was never going to be at this week's SmackDown. That's why they introduced Carmella and Zelina last week to be her proxies. In fact, I'm going to tweet that. Nope, that's Saha. I missed an S. Sasha Banks was never planned to be at this week's SmackDown. Carmella and Zelina were introduced last week to act as her proxies. All I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that. I'm just going to say it and leave it there. It's easy. J-Dub, welcome, mate. How are you doing? So it's like WWE going out of their way to find reasons for me not to watch Raw. Logan Paul is a tool. We'll see how it plays out. Logan Paul in a wrestling environment has done pretty well. He doesn't overdo it. He doesn't make it about himself. He genuinely comes out, does what's requested of him, and goes home. So Logan Paul is quite popular backstage in WWE. Brandon says, do you believe Natalya should have had more title reigns? Honestly, yes. I do. She's only had 2 actual women's championship reigns. And I think with her level of talent and the fact that she basically trains everyone, yeah, I do think she should. That said, tag team championship is nothing to be sniffed at, and she's doing well. Sniffed at, and she's doing well with it. She has just been pinned by Shotzi Blackheart. Okay, King of Pro. Not sure what you're saying, but okay. Natalya's holding her ankle. I think this is for a kayfabe reason. I think it's for kayfabe. But that's a win for Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart over Natalya and Tamina. That's a tag team championship match waiting to happen. And honestly, very possibly a win. Lil Tortilla Boy says Logan Paul and predetermined matches go hand in hand. Again, I like you. Moxie says, do you think Roman is the main event then? Yeah, I do. No question in my mind. Roman Reigns is always the main event. I think we can all agree on that. We're getting a recap of less than an hour ago, the promo from Edge. Suggests to me that our second hour draw segment may be Seth Rollins' response. Ooh. Ooh. That suit is nice. That suit is nice. I'm not usually a white suit guy, but hey, I'll try it. Omega's just very, very happy. He had Tegan, and Tegan won. You got everything you wanted, mate. Everything you wanted. Bailey says, any chance they reunite Tegan and Dakota as a main roster tag team? Possibly, but Tegan already has a tag team partner, and Dakota Kai is likely to be on Raw. Jermaine says, Bianca going to wrestle 2 matches tonight and win. Looks strong going into SummerSlam just to get her heat by Sasha at SummerSlam. WWE is telling you in neon letters Sasha is winning the title. I agree with everything you've just said. Literally everything. King of Pro says, since John Cena started WWE, how is he not a Grand Slam champion? He needs an IC title. Not everyone needs to be a Grand Slam champion. He may just not have been in a position to win the Intercontinental Championship. He might not be particularly interested right now. It could just be that simple. Megan says, is it too much to imagine that the women's tag team will be on the pre-show tomorrow? The only title not on the card, not counting the IC title, is it's been dealt with. I think at this point, the reason that match was short was because they didn't want to be too taxing to Natalya. I think that's the reason that that's happened. So I think having another match the next day might be a bit much. So if it's not on the show, I would happily forgive them for that. But I also wouldn't be against it. Megan is enjoying Seth in white for SummerSlam. Seth and White for SummerSlam is a long and varied story. I remember him being the White Ranger. Right, Jonathan Ross. The White Ranger a few years back as well. Brandon feels a brawl coming on. Edge and Seth has been brawling non-stop. Could be a lot of fun. That's all I'm saying. Could be a lot of fun. If you haven't yet, please do remember to click like on the Facebook. Not Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. On the YouTube video, if you can. If you're watching on Twitch and you haven't yet, by all means, please click that follow button. You'll get a notification every time we go live with our spoiler warning show, in which you can get news that is simply not available anywhere else. In the meantime, we are almost halfway through Smackdown. And so far, it's been solid. It's been okay. It's been good. Nothing is setting the world on fire. The matches aren't incredible, but they're solid. There's been no big storyline advancement. Edge's promo is pretty good. Pretty good. Hopefully Seth's will be good as well. But I think we're all really just waiting for Roman versus Cena. And I think, I'm going to be blunt, guys, I think the Roman Cena segment might go over a little bit. Just a little bit. Just down a little bit. Megan says, that was my logic. Give them 5-10 minutes on the pre-show. Tamina do most of the bigger spots. So it's over and done with, allowing Natty to rest up. I would be happy with that. I would be happy with that. Ethan says, will Punk use his old theme song tonight? Just wondering. I have absolutely no idea, Ethan. No clue. I know he can. Don't know if he will. Brandon says, do you see Rollins having a world title reign soon with his heel gimmick? I'm pretty sure apart from that Drew match, he hasn't had anything to do with the world title picture since he was last a face. And that's true. That's absolutely true. I think he has more chance of becoming a champion on Raw than he does on SmackDown. That's basically it on that front. El Tortilla Boys is really happy celebrating a cult of personality. Look in my eyes, what do you see? Good times. And King of Pro says, which chaos do you like? Is it when 30 people brawl before a Royal Rumble or Raw and SmackDown brawl before Survivor Series? I prefer the invasions before Survivor Series. I don't know, they just connect with me better. I enjoy them more. Michael says, I thought about that last week. If they'd go overtime due to Rampage, but then I thought they probably couldn't because of the local news. I do think it'll be a very small one if there is one. I'd say Seth looks good in that suit, apart from the fact that he's still not wearing socks. All he has to do is wear socks. It's not a big ask. It's not a big ask. Just wear socks. Just do it. Just wear socks. Just fucking do it. And now here we are. And nobody's wearing socks. Socks are over. Read that. Mary says, Tom, I hope some hints are dropped of Punk on Rampage. I think you'll get more than hints, mate. I think you'll get a lot more than hints. CM Punk has people forgetting about someone's contract being done this Sunday. Will Adam move up to the main roster via a new contract or move on to another company? Last I heard, Adam Cole will be on Raw on Monday. But once again, as I say, that is a single source at the moment. Brandon says I bet it ends with Cena and possibly the Mysterio standing tall. Very possibly. Can see that. Can see that. I think Cena kind of needs it. Oh, Mario, I get you now. I get you. He says the lack of socks is annoying to me. And me. We get annoyed by the same things. Also, we get excited by the same men. I think I need to get the Eurogamer t-shirt that just says I'm canonically bisexual. I think I just sort of have to. Michael says, damn it, I'd love to see Adam Cole, but I don't want to watch Raw. Well, it may not happen. Who can tell? It's why I've not formally reported it. I've not put a report out there about it because there's just too much up in the air. Brandon says, if Punk shows up without cult to personality, that will be a complete letdown. I don't think it's going to happen like that. King of Pro says, why is Chicago's is the only cheer for CM Punk? There'll be a lot more people cheering, don't you worry. He'll be cheered all across the country. And Brandon is just shouting, we want Edge. He's so excitable. Lil Tortilla Boy says, I just want Adam to be happy with his choice, but let's be real. He has a very low chance of being relevant on the main roster. He may or may not, but he may have been offered a WWE Championship within the next calendar year. That'll make you relevant. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate that. I'm representing today. I look a bit buffer than I normally do because of it. It's just a nice t-shirt for that, and obviously if I roll my shoulders properly, it works. But I don't know. It's good. I like it. Dylan, conductor of the Hype Train, says, in your time as a journalist, has there ever been anything quite like the return of Punk? Honestly, no. My time as a journalist is only 4 years. Punk has always been something special. He always has been. And it's been 7 years of just nothing happening in that regard, and then suddenly something. Chan Selabov says, is Sasha versus Bianca happening? At the moment, yes. The WWE have not pulled the match. Jermaine Presley says, why is WWE keep having Pat and Cole say that Tegan Nox and Shotzi beating Natalya and Tamina is an upset? Tegan and Shotzi have been beating the tag champs 3 times and in one-on-one matches. This has to stop. It's an upset because Natalya and Tamina are more established on the main roster. So there's logic to it. It's just, read the room as well. King of Pro says, is this what That's why he's wearing white. He's wearing white for the bloodbath. Oh, we're going to get Gangrel. That was a lot. That ring is wrecked. Wow. He's going to be showering for weeks. I like that. Thank you very much for the follows, Michael 3XX and Killer Chaos 0006. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the watch party, and welcome. Let's catch up. So King Pro says, when I see people, they said WWE stand for We Want Edge. I don't really understand what you're saying. Can you reiterate? Little Tortilla Boy says, Adam with a WWE Championship run would be beautiful. I'm a mark for him for sure. I do think it's going to happen. Pardon me. Michael 3XX says, are you going to watch AEW? Yes, I will be watching Rampage. Brandon says, The Fiend. Only kidding, just dead. Should have been Gangrel. That was Gangrel's theme. Bailey says, how long will it take to clean that up? I'd imagine they're just going to take the canvas off and put a new one on. Seth's never going to be clean again, really. Little Tortilla Boy says, this is hype. J-Dub says, that was crazy. Landed a couple rows in. Whoa. That spread. Curry says, splash zone warnings not present. Yeah, it just splashed. J-Dub says, cue the extended commercial break. That's a good shout. Could very much be about to happen as Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins make their entrance. Moxie says he thought he was a Fiend for a second. Thankfully not. Little Tortilla Boy says, we're getting an edgelord. Oh, I do like you. You bring the memes. It is apparently Montez Ford versus Otis next, and we are about to get a commercial break. Brandon says he looks like one of the Stooges from Home Alone when they're covered in oil. Yep, right you are. I think he's going to debut. Oh, you mean Punk? Yeah, he is going to debut. Mara says, is AJ Lee going to debut a Punk? Not that I know of. I did say some news about this in spoiler warning earlier. You may want to check the catch-up if you want more news on that. But basically, not that I know of. What just happened? Bloodbath just happened. Devin says, who else thought it was going to be Gangrel coming out, not just Brood Edge? Me, guilty. I genuinely thought we were about to get the full Brood, but obviously not the full Brood because Christian doesn't work for the company anymore. So we could have got Gangrel, but apparently not. Apparently not. Oop. Lil Tortilla Boy says, I love how since it's PG, they can't have actual blood. Yeah, they made it darker. Sucks. Imagine Brie Bella versus Dr. Britt Baker. Why? That doesn't sound that fun. Corey says, I'm under the impression Bianca Sasha is still going on. They are still going on. I'm under that impression as well. Michael says, how many times have you answered the same questions about CM Punk and Sasha in the last few hours? About 10 or 12 times. Constantly answering the same questions, but hey, that's the job, mate. That's the job. I tried to get some something to eat between streams, and I had like 15 DMs asking me the same questions. Painful. Megan says, maybe we get Gangrel tomorrow night. Maybe. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, hopefully he stops making porn. That'd be cool if he could just like stop making porn. Will Becky Lynch return back to WWE? Yes. Michael says this might be the biggest AEW viewership in history. It might be. It also might not be. Kuro says there's like 12 news sites saying in the last 10 minutes saying it's cancelled. Can you give us more information on that, Kuro? Who is the biggest news site saying it's cancelled? Thank you very much for the follow the Wrestling Sport Review. Very much appreciate that. You'll get a notification every time we go live for watch parties or for our new show spoiler warning as well. Mario says, what if AEW has no rights to play Cult of Personality? Well, they do. So it's really that simple. They do have the rights to play it. It's just whether or not CM Punk wants to play it. Wrestling Sport Review says, hi, I wish the corporate ministry returned tomorrow on SummerSlam. That would be an experience. That would be such an experience. Moxie says, I think Becky comes back tomorrow. Very possible. Very possible. Kura says, most of them are regurgitating PW Insider because they found out Sasha's not on SmackDown. Right, okay. So the news sites aren't actually reporting it, they're just re-reporting it. One of my favorite things is when someone says, oh no, but this site confirmed it. They didn't, they just reported the exact same thing. Michael says, on YouTube or Wrestling Inc. says Bianca or Sasha might be pulled. Okay, did Wrestling Inc. just report what PW Insider said? Also, when you say on YouTube, who on YouTube? Cora says Sasha's not on SmackDown because Mandalorian Season 3 is filming. Well, there's a good answer for you. There's a very good answer. Wrestling Sport Review wants Edge, Gangrel, Evil Undertaker, Shane McMahon, and Triple H. Also, technically, The Rock was a member of the corporate ministry very, very briefly. Very briefly. And so was Christian. The Acolytes, Midian and Viscera. Lost more names. Haunted Serpent, welcome back to the show, mate. Says Tom, gone to SmackDown as a cure for insomnia. Yeah, it's been fun so far, hasn't it? It's been fun. Welcome back, mate. Glad to see you. Little Tortilla Boy says, I had to look up the Brood theme real quick and I forgot that it's a bang. It genuinely is. Couple that with the Gangrel entrance is so fun. So fun. Well, wait, because CM goddamn Punk is back and I can't sleep. SmackDown is a time filler. I think that's true for most people. Moxie says Sasha and Bianca are not getting pulled. If it does, then it's bad for WWE. It would be bad for WWE, absolutely. Mario says Sasha is a female Cena, The Rock, Batista, Punk in the movie biz. Movie biz, not yet. Soon. Soon. Jacob says, I have 4 questions for you. All right. Is CM Punk debuting tonight on Rampage? Yes, that is the plan. Is Sasha Banks versus Bianca still happening? Yes, that is the plan. 3, who will Sasha feud with after Bianca? Number of possibilities. It is likely to be someone like Liv Morgan for a bit, but there is also a draft coming. So I feel we may get Sasha versus Asuka for a little while. Or Becky Lynch. When does Becky Lynch come back? Very possibly tomorrow. Very possibly tomorrow. Okay? There are rumors gathering steam about Becky Lynch appearing tomorrow. Moxie says, imagine if Edge had done this to Roman. I don't think Roman would have allowed it. They've literally just once again announced Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for tomorrow night. Haunted Serpent says, you want it watching Rampage? I will be doing so, yes. Be great, take a heel turn tomorrow on SummerSlam. I don't see that happening. Michael says, I have to send you the link. Why do you have to send me the link, Michael? Why do you have to send me the link? What is the YouTube channel that is reporting that the match has been pulled? If you've seen it, then you know. If you've got a link, then you know. Just let us know what the channel was. And if Wrestling Inc. are reporting what PW Insider are reporting. If it is the case, then in their article, they will quote PW Insider and link back to it. Brian says, Tom always looks way happier on SmackDown watch parties compared to Raw. I think that shows how far Raw has fallen. I've struggled with Raw recently, and you guys know this. I've been very open about it. I've really struggled watching Raw recently. And I think the reason was, and I'm gonna have to get really in depth with some of my analysis here. I think the reason is it's shit. Okay, then you have to get that in depth after all. Taker is retired, Mario, but he's also Undertaker, and if Vince asks him to come back, he'll come back. Oh, I know, J-Dub. I know. You may be a bit of a troll, mate, but you're our troll. Our troll. Haunted Serpent says, how has TK pulled this off? I was so sure Punk was done. Was it the money truck or the possible opponents or just an FU to Vince or all three? All three. Absolutely all three. Kuro's gone to Wrestling Inc. and said, here's the exact quote. So let's read it out. In an update, the original source for the internal concern, PW Insider, now reports that Banks is not at the venue for tonight's go-home SmackDown, and word making the rounds is that she is off the pay-per-view. So yes, that is a direct report from PW Insider. Again, once again, we have one source on this. Just one source. That source has also said the match is happening. I do not trust this report. Hunted says, I can't even try Raw anymore. What a crap pile that show is. Lately, it's been terrible. Terrible. Serpent, you'd have been really proud. We hit a new record on Monday for spoiler warning. An average viewership of 43. 43. Absolutely incredible. Michael says, I feel sorry. Michael 3XX says, I feel sorry for everyone who watches or buys tickets to see Raw. Yeah, it's an experience. Thankfully, they all have John Cena now. You still love Ray Pillow, don't you? Never change, mate. Never change. Megan says, I will say props to the ring crew for getting the change done so fast. Yeah. Oh, lovely elbow. Lovely elbow. They must have just changed the canvas. It'll be interesting if we go to the outside to see how much spilled, because usually the mats are a lot harder, just a lot harder to clean. Looks fine. Genuinely looks fine. They've done a great job. Brandon says, can you see Otis eventually turning on Gable? No, but I can see Gable eventually leaving. No, Mario, I completely understand that, but it's in reference to that I said, yes, he is retired, but you never know with Vince. How did they clean it up? They would have taken off the canvas and applied a new one. Serpent says, hot damn, they were hanging from the rafters. Well deserved, my friend. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. My numbers are going up and up and up. That is my record at the moment, a 43 average viewership. We reached 45 viewers earlier on today for spoiler warning as well. So, things are really working. Megan said, it's sad because the roster on Raw is good. It's just the show that isn't so good. Yeah, the creative team are doing a terrible job. An absolutely terrible job. Michael 3XX says, at least AEW comes to save the day. I still enjoy SmackDown. It's a good show. Mox says, I'm going to SummerSlam tomorrow. You look forward to that, mate. I hope you're excited for it. Should be a fun show. Montez Ford's pocket has come out, and that's really upsetting me. Just really upsetting me. Seven says, why is Montez Ford in boxer shorts tonight? I think he's trying to pay tribute to a boxer. Couldn't tell you which one. But I think he's trying to pay tribute to a boxer, especially when you consider how his wrists are taped as well. But yeah, the pocket came out, and I'm seeing way up those shorts, more than I'd like. Kura says, MVP potentially releasing a new theme earlier. That's news to me. Not something I've seen. Matt says, could you see Otis getting his old character back, or is that a never going back thing? It's never going back. This is the new Otis. and they're very happy with it. That what? No, that's not going to happen. WWE are making billions and record profits. AEW are making minus numbers. Yeah, they've got plenty of money, but they're very quickly losing it, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Michael FreeXX says, I just wonder what's going to happen when they have the draft. There is a lot of possibilities, and I'm excited for what they may bring. Thank you, Moxie. Appreciate that. Michael says Montez looks like he's wearing a bathing suit. Very true. Definitely the case. Serpent says SmackDown is lifted because of Roman. Same effect Austin and Rock had in the Attitude Era. One really good act can lift the whole thing. It's not just one really good act. That's the issue. It's not just Roman. It's also, even on Masculine now, I'm enjoying Nakamura. I'm enjoying Corbin, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. Edge and Seth are doing good stuff. It's not just one good act. It's a good show. Seven says Otis has go away heat with me. Go way away heat. Maybe with you, but that's not universal. Also, still not bored with Boogs yet. And indeed, we have a Boogs happening right now. Bailey says, does WWE fly out the town to Las Vegas, or are they on their own to get there? It's a 5-hour drive from Phoenix, and obviously they can't be late. They will drive after the show to the hotel. They will all drive after the show to the hotel. Certain ones will get helicopters, by which I mean Roman. No, Moxie. No, I don't. Even says WWE announced Sasha versus Belair for SummerSlam, so it's on. Yeah, the match is still on. He tweeted out a song he made years ago for himself featuring a lot of wrestling animations. Interesting. Serpent wants Pat McAfee to sit on Cole's head again. I think he may not be allowed to do that anymore. I think Michael Cole probably didn't like it. Michael 3XX says, how do you feel about tomorrow's SummerSlam? I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be very good wrestling. Roman with Heyman for that copter? Yeah, pretty much. Rick Boogs is wrestling. Rick Boogs is wrestling. Rick Boogs is wrestling. Cole does love Pat. Doesn't necessarily mean he likes being sat on. Well, there's only so much room in a helicopter, mate. Plus, do we want Jimmy Uso in a helicopter where we could potentially try and fly it? Nobody wants that. Right. It is 2:20. I'm going to take a very quick break to get myself a new drink because I have none left. And pop to the bathroom. Please do not go anywhere. We still have the rest of SmackDown and, in fact, AEW Rampage to come. We are currently sitting at 329 followers on Twitch. And if I look at my numbers on YouTube, then I am currently sitting on 680 subscribers. So if you're enjoying the show and you haven't yet clicked subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitch, please do consider doing so. Thank you, Moxie, for linking the YouTube there. I'll just catch up with the chat before I head out. Serpent says Commander Sneeze is wrestling. Ugh. Mario, I'd rather watch Impact than see more WWE. All means do so. I mean, all power to you. Brandon says Nakamura looks so good with that title and crown. He does. Michael 3XX says, imagine if Brock Lesnar goes in SummerSlam in the main event. Not happening at the moment, but he will be coming back shortly afterwards. And the majority of songs about wrestling, says Kura. Jermaine says, Tom, I just want to say thank you. Why? Because you've been spot on with the wrestling news, plus what you said about Otis being... I imagine there's a bit more. But I appreciate you saying that. I've been trying to report news as best I can, and it seems to be working. So, all cool. Moxie, you don't need to say bye. I will be back in a couple of minutes. Megan says, just saw on Twitter that Edge was wearing Brood-themed tunes. The designer posted images of them. Cool. Conrad, hey, mate, says, hi, Tom. Welcome, Conrad. And Jermaine says, I meant Otis being the true focal point of the tag team. They're believing Otis is going to be a single star. Probably the reason why they gave him Bronson Reed's finisher. Very possible indeed. Right. I am going to take a couple of moments. I'll be back in maybe 2 minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom, get myself a new drink, and be back before the commercial break is over. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in just a moment. Hello, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, Mario, the stream was indeed on a Be Right Back, and I am back. And in fact, I missed a follow while that's happened as well. Hello, Solid B+. What a name. Perfect name for the stream like this. Thank you for following Solid B+. Moxie says, fully stocked on food for Rampage. It's only an hour-long show, mate. How much food do you need? Ed, thank you for letting people know. Probably get a drink in you in the lab. That is exactly what just happened, and it's happened now, so I'm back. I mean, yeah. Kura says, I just got to do something fun. I got to revoke certain people's press passes and press access to SummerSlam. That's funny. That's funny, mate. You get all the fun jobs. Serpent says, hey, Tom, got a question pertinent to the final part of SmackDown. Missionary position, for or against? There is nothing wrong with missionary position, okay? Now, only missionary position, there's something wrong with that. But every now and then, a little bit of missionary goes a long way. I like to at least have 2 or 3 positions per session, personally. I'm not Batman. Would Rosa Mendez ever return? Nah, she does not want to. She does not want to be involved in wrestling anymore. Oop. Hunter says there's a bit of big dog in there too. Maybe. The big dog style's the way. Basically, big dog style is just to pretend you're Roman Reigns while having sex. It works out pretty good. It's a confidence boost. I mean, that's not true. Matt, sex is about 2 people having fun, not just 1 person. Whatever you both want, you know? Now, don't get me wrong, there'll be some sexual situations where it is all about another person. Tends not to be when there's penetration involved. Work together. I didn't get to see much of Rick Boogs. It was a very short match, but I've heard good things. Ooh, was it good for you? Nah, Roman. Nah. But that's basically how you play it. That's how it's done. Megan says, am I the only one who's a bit sad that we have hardly seen Apollo's nice entrance Tron on TV? We've hardly seen Apollo, to be honest, over the last few weeks. And that was a very brief match. Very brief. Ed says, didn't Rosa have a very rough exit from the company? I wasn't really watching at the time, so I'm not really au fait with this story. But hey, it's not good. Megatron says, sex ed with Tom Colohue. These are important things to consider, okay? It's about working together. Serpent says, it'll only work if you have someone in my room shouting, oh my, when you're done. That's true. You have to have Michael Cole at all times commentating on your sexual encounter. Ringing the bell's important. Matt says, Bianca ever have a hair match? Nope, she has no intentions of doing that. That is her natural hair, and she doesn't want to even possibly risk it going. I don't blame her for that. I think she's entirely in the right to protect her image, and I wish her all the best in continuing to do so. How much lemon is too much lemon? I've never had a cup of tea in my life, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Someone says, imagine how long that took her to grow. Why would you ever give it up unless you want to? And it's worth pointing out, the slightest mistake in a match can result in a free count to the wrong person, at which point she'd have to let her hair get cut. It's not good. Mara says, rank the 3 worst and best SmackDown Raw GMs that you can think of. Paige is best for me. Daniel Bryan was pretty good. But you've got to remember, I've missed a lot when it comes to the GM era. I really have. So that I can think of is basically all the recent ones. Kurt Angle, Mick Foley. There's not really enough to go on. Just wanted to crack my neck a little bit there. That feels good. I did not miss the Attitude Era. I watched the Attitude Era, and we didn't have GMs in the Attitude Era. We genuinely didn't. What we had instead was commissioners, and it was usually Shawn Michaels. Even loved Teddy Long. Hello, Lauren Goodnight. Welcome to the show, and thank you for the follow. You are follow 331. Welcome. How are you? Seven's just saying holla, holla, holla. Awesome but terrible at the same time. The best things are both terrible and okay and pretty good. A lot of people saying Teddy Long, but also a worse GM for John Laurinaitis. Mara says Ruthless Aggression. Yeah, I didn't watch Ruthless Aggression. I stopped watching in 2001. Little Tortilla Boy says, anyone else here more excited for TakeOver rather than SummerSlam? Ed? I think Ed is. And Lauren says, hi, I'm happy to finally have a Twitch. Well, welcome to the show. You'll get a notification every time we go live, and I look forward to having you here. Really do. How are you? How are you doing? It's been a little while. It says, and Mick Foley, don't forget Foley. Or even Foley would forget Foley, let's be honest. Do you remember when he forgot what town he was in? So it became a running joke that he wrote the town he was in on his hand. It wasn't good. Yep, I completely missed the prototype gimmick. I completely missed Bischoff as a GM. Between 2001 and 2014, never watched wrestling. And I didn't even miss it. Was Shane a GM? I think Shane was the commissioner, and then the actual GM was Daniel Bryan, or am I wrong there? Could be the other way around. Did not know Paul Heyman was ever a GM. No, that's pretty cool. Serpent says, what brought you back? Multiple things. Firstly, I moved into a new house, had better internet, and then got my PS4 online. The WWE Network was there, so I thought, you know what? I'll give it a go. I'll watch some old Raw and Smackdown. I'll watch some old Attitude Era. And then it was Battleground, and I saw Bray Wyatt's entrance. I looked at Bray Wyatt making his entrance, and I said to myself, that's my guy. That is my guy. And now he's gone. Lauren says, not as good as you. You and Roman are literally the only reason I keep with any WWE news. Wow. Wow. Well, I'm honored that you would say so. Wrestling Sport Review says CM Punk and Kenny Omega are CM Punk versus... I don't know what you're saying there, Wrestling Sport Review. Can you try and reiterate, please? What do we call WWE's current era? The reality era. It's the reality TV era. Brandon says, that's true, Tom, my bad. I don't even know what you said. What was your bad? Ah, right, the Shane McMahon thing. Right, got it. Thank you, Little Tortilla Boy, for your subscription. Thank you kindly. Very much appreciate that. I always feel very flattered when someone follows and subscribes at the same time. It makes me feel very honored that I'm definitely doing something right. So thank you. I really do appreciate that. Dylan just shouts Bray Wyatt forever. Ed is more excited for TakeOver, but that also is because he gets to verbally chat with his friend Tom for takeovers. Takeovers have become a bit of a tradition of ours, and it's one I'm very much excited to keep going. Marcus says Mick Foley's been speared through fire and be thrown off Hell in a Cell. Sheesh. Yeah, he's had a rough time, and he's very happy about that. He can't even put his own socks on anymore. Did you ever see Mick Foley on Wife Swap? That was an experience. To be clear, I said Mick Foley as in on the TV show Wife Swap, not Mick Foley wife swapping. Different situation. Someone says, Zelina happy with her choice to come back, you think? Apparently she is. I don't know why. Why do I say reality TV era? Because that's what it's called. That's what they refer to it as internally in WWE. Little Tortilla Boy says, you know what, Tom, you're my guy. You get me. Megan says, for back-to-back matches, we're not getting much time for them. Only half hour left of the show with a Roman Cena segment to come. I would imagine we're going to get 10, maybe 15 minutes of this, and that will be the end of the wrestling matches. And then we'll get maybe 15 minutes again for Roman Cena. But it won't be 15 minutes. It'll be commercial break and then 10 minutes. It won't be good. No worries, Dylan. What did I clarify? Did I just shout Bray Wyatt forever for you? I say a lot of stuff, mate. I say a lot of stuff. Wrestling Sport Review says, Kenny Omega said, I'm the best in the world. Nobody beats me in your here cult of personality starting in CM Punk arrive. That may happen. It also may not. What do I mean by reality TV era? It's the reality TV era. They're trying to make the TV program a reality TV show, much in the same way that something's going on the outside. Much in the same way that they want this to be like a Real Housewives or a Total Divas. They are trying to make Raw and SmackDown a reality TV show. Gotcha. Yeah. It needed clarifying. It needed clarifying. That's all I'm saying. Moxie says, I imagine Cena gets speared. Probably. I think now's the time to make that happen. And Serpent says, they think real people act like this. To be clear, have you seen reality TV? Have you seen like a Real Housewives show? They ain't real. They are not real people. But also kind of, yeah, that's what they think. KOD, Zelina's gone. Another loss for Zelina Vega. Do you think she'll ever win a match again? Like, genuine question. Like, genuinely, do you think Zelina Vega's ever going to win a match again? We're definitely heading towards the closing out of WWE Smackdown today. Okay. Alright, sorry to hear that, Ethan. I know you're struggling with it. Hopefully it'll clear up soon. Serpent says, I understand that, but Moist TV is a real thing on Raw right now. These are grown men. Again, I ask, who is this for? Logan Paul fans. Moist TV is mostly aimed at younger viewers. They do have different target audiences on Raw because it's such a long show. That's mostly aimed at younger viewers. Long Goodnight says, ironic. Brandy's big come up wasn't the dub. It was... I have no idea of anything you've just said there, Lauren. No idea. Like, I feel like I've been born in a different era to you entirely based on, like, them kids and their jargon. I tell you, I can't work it out. That's what I'm seeing when I read that. So I don't understand. Matt says, forever's a long time. I think she'll have a little money push at some point. Possibly. Brandon says, honestly, don't get why Zelina came back. Should have just gone to AEW with Tommy. Yeah. Mega says, Zelina will get some wins, but it won't be anytime soon. I can see her maybe getting a Survivor Series elimination. That's fair. Yeah. Heretic Aqua. The match is still planned for SummerSlam at this point. Same, Serpent. Same. I am Big Grump. I am Le Grump. Corey says, the most watched show under the sea, Moist TV. Ugh. Brandon says, have you noticed Punk has turned off his replies and all his recent tweets? Is that because he's debuting tonight, or he just knows he'll get bombarded by people asking him regardless? It is both. It is literally both. Little Tortilla Boy says, Tommy talks with Jericho about it on Jericho's podcast. They were both at the gym when Tommy got the call about being let go. It was a shock to them because part of Zelina signing with WWE was because she wanted to be with Tommy. Yeah, they took their moment away. Wags is an English reality show about wives and girlfriends, like footy wives and stuff. When they did it here in the US, it was in Atlanta, and Brandy and Cody were on it. Right, I did not know that. That is hilarious, and I need to know more. Interesting. Yeah, Serpent says she re-signed before he got cut. She did, right before. It was awkward. Michael says, well, she was coming back before Tommy got fired. Yes, very true, and I can't believe she's happy with the situation now. Moxie says, imagine the Shield versus the Full Brood. Who would win? The Shield. No question. It would not even be difficult for them. Serpent says, Punk was a voice of the voiceless. Now he's a silencer of the people. I mean, I can't argue with your description there. Very accurate. Very accurate. Just as a heads up, guys, we are currently undergoing the busiest watch party we've ever done. The watch parties do not have the viewership that Spoiler Warning does because it's different. It's chilled out, you know. Spoiler Warning is a case of everyone comes in for the news, and that's basically all they're after. Whereas the watch parties are more about the show that we make and the comedy that we can try and create together. So a big thank you to everyone watching, everyone lurking, everyone who's followed. I really do appreciate it. It's funny thinking, literally, this time last week, we were 51 viewers less. It's absolutely incredible. Little Tortilla Boy wants to see Punk back on heels. Cora says if time travel was possible, NWO Wolfpack versus the Shield, who wins? Still the Shield. Still in every way the Shield. Every way the Shield. Michael says Bianca and Carmella had to awkwardly stand in the ring for about 10 minutes. Yep, sounds about right. WWE won't let them just fight. Serpent says, I so damn want Punk to interrupt a massive MJF brag session tonight. That could be fun. Chelsea's here. You're all right, mate. Saying hi, Tom. What's the CM Punk situation? CM Punk is there. CM Punk is debuting tonight. That's everything I've heard for it. Thank you, Ed. I will look into that. Moxie says in 10 days, Roman will have held a title for 1 year, and he'll hold it for a hell of a lot longer too. Brandon said the Shield versus the Club should have happened. By the Club, do you mean AJ and the Good Brothers? Or do you mean Balor and the Good Brothers? There were many incarnations of the Club. Nice suplex. I can't help but feel that we're literally watching a bumblebee take on a leopard. And for some reason, the bumblebee is winning. Little Tortilla Boy says we have GCW, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, SmackDown, SummerSlam, and TakeOver all within 72 hours. What a time to be a wrestling fan. Indeed, indeed. Chelsea says, oh shit, that's tonight. It is. Serpent says, are they hiding him, do you think, or does TK trust the boys with these things? They are hiding him. He does not trust the boys with these things. The pop culture fringes are why you keep me around. That's true. That is true. Wags was definitely not the height of the reality genre. Question. If you got to choose a wrestling couple to be in a reality show, who would you enjoy the most? Charlotte and Andrade. They just cause drama. It's great. He was about to go to sleep. No pun intended. What the fuck? Yeah, mate, Rampage tonight. It's in 20 minutes. Serpent says, oh yeah, SmackDown's on. And indeed, it is. Moxie says, the Shield would be everyone, even the Hurt Business. Yeah, absolutely, no question. Gora says, the Wolfpack theme happens to be my favorite theme in wrestling. Well, yeah, it's, I hope you manage to find a way to travel in time, because that will certainly be rewarding for you. Am I streaming for AEW? Yes, I have my 7-day free trial for Fight TV so that I can watch Rampage. But Rampage might be the only AEW show I watch. Hopefully, they'll convince me otherwise. Bailey says, who's considered the number 3 wrestling organization right now? New Japan are considered number 3. Droopy Draws 1, 2, 3 can fuck off. Can officially fuck right off. Ed, are you still here? Thank you. Ed's all over it. But yeah, they can fuck off. Entirely. Cool. I don't care if you follow me, Droopy Draws. You're about to be banned. You can fuck off. There will be none of that. Anyway. Brennan says, specifically AJ and the Good Brothers. I remember they had a backstage segment once with the New Day. I think it was kind of teasing it. True. I remember something like that, yeah. Bianca Belair picked up the win, and once again, they've advertised Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. The WWE are not messing around. They have said 4 times tonight that the match is happening. Little Tortilla Boy says, the wrestling couple I would want to watch is RK Bro. That would be terrible and terrifying and quite fun. Cult of Personality, yes. And how many people at AEW? I don't know what the question is there, to be completely honest with you. Matt says, I've been watching NWA and enjoying it. Fair enough. Thank you, Ed. Very much appreciate that. That was some very smooth work. For many reasons, but Aaron Stevens is currently there and he's probably still my favorite current wrestler. Interesting. Interesting that you go with Aaron Stevens. Fair, Ed. Appreciate that. Sometimes it's a case of, okay, I'm going to tell you off, but that's it. But not this time. Absolutely not. I will not accept that. Moxie says Sasha is 100% winning after that. I'm being confident about that the whole time. Kura says third promotion tonight, advertising Sasha. Yeah, oh yeah, wait, 4. We did get up to 4. Mara says anchovies or pineapple for the worst pizza topping. Pineapple, can't stand it. It just makes my pizza drip. NWA is having 2 big pay-per-views and 2 tapings of their show in St. Louis, my hometown. That's pretty cool. Why is her belt looking like a replica? I maybe Sasha took the belt with her for the promotional material. Possible. Serpent says, hey Tom, does WWE have the same sources as the internet? I mean, how would they know if Sasha is going to be there? Sheesh. Lauren says, is Sasha's wrestling currently at a place where her victory over Sasha would be believable / fun? Yes, I think it's perfectly believable for Sasha to be able to beat Bianca Belair. Hello, Big Pifter. Why have you got another account? I don't understand. Chelsea says, what is the crowd attendance for the AEW? I'm really not sure. I've been watching SmackDown, so I've not been keeping track of it. Dylan says, I think the couple I'd watch are Britt and Adam, or Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham. How about Will Ospreay and B. Priestley? That would be an experience. The entire thing, and be like, I didn't say don't come to Japan. I didn't say it, though. Again and again and again. Eddie's still about. That is such a ridiculous thing to say. Such a ridiculous thing to say. Firstly, I'm OCD. Different thing. I am technically on the autistic spectrum, but only slightly. Now, I can sit here and say that. What I can say about you is that you are a cunt. Glad you're here, Ed. Place is full of cunts. Megan is pro pineapple. Pro pineapple on pizza. It just makes my pizza fall apart. I like thin-based pizza, and when it gets wet, it just crumbles. It's awful. Kuro's got us a number. 14,356 for AEW. Pretty good number. Pretty good number. Dylan says, I don't think B and Will are together anymore. Well, that'd make it even more dramatic, wouldn't it? It was announced in their Twitter and by the Unite Center. Cool. Nice to know we got the numbers. Don't worry, Ed, you're all over this. I'm not worried at all. Every now and then, you got to let the crap come out. You know, every now and then, you got to let the crap come out. I'm doing really good on this this whole Twitch thing and this whole YouTube thing. And if other people want to throw shit because they're disappointing everyone in their lives, all credit to them. They can be desperate and ashamed of themselves all they want. I'm doing pretty good. Right, what am I up to? What am I up to? Serpent says, WWE really aren't trying to steal the hype back right now, are they? No, they will try and steal it back with SummerSlam. They'll wait for SummerSlam. Lauren says, AEW's Dynamite Grand Slam has sold over 16,000 of its 17,000 ticket allotment. Yes, but how many of them have gone to scalpers? That's the question. AEW let tickets go to scalpers because they like seeing the numbers go up quickly. It's a problem. Moxie excited for SummerSlam and Rampage. That's cool. It is numbers. Very true. Cora says, as a Canadian, the place where Hawaiian pizza was invented, why is your pineapple wet enough to mess up the pizza? Because it's made in the UK and people don't do things properly. They don't. What scalpers? So it's people who buy 10 or 20 tickets at once with the intention of selling them on and making a profit. So if the tickets are £20 each, they'll buy 100 tickets. They'll spend £2,000 buying 100 tickets and sell them off as £50 for 2. So they end up making a hell of a lot more money. So they'll make like $5,000 from a $2,000 investment. The problem is they won't always sell them. So you end up with massive gaps in the arenas. Now, AEW, they'll bring people down and they'll fill the gaps up. But at the same time, they shouldn't be letting scalpers take tickets. But they like it when the numbers go up nice and quick. I still blame pineapple. Though I do like sweet and sour chicken, and that features pineapple, so I'm just not really a pineapple guy. Serpent says, is it morbid curiosity over Punk getting you to watch AEW tonight, Tom? Yes. You've nailed it there, yeah. Brandon says, where do you genuinely believe Roman with his current heel gimmick ranks all time compared to others past and present? I think he's approaching the level of a The Rock. Genuinely. Little Tortilla Boy says, scalpers are the ugly side of capitalism in practice. There aren't many attractive sides of capitalism, to be completely honest, and I say that with an internal capitalist who is always screaming to get out. Who will be the next SmackDown Live Women's Champion? Sasha Banks. Kuro says, fun fact, the man who invented the Hawaiian pizza named after his favorite brand of canned pineapple. Yeah, that's right, it's supposed to be canned, so it's supposed to be wet. Ugh. Lauren says, the scalper problem is a problem with ticket vendors, not AEW. They honestly can't control who buys, but Ticketmaster can. They can leverage. They can do a lot more to leverage. It's a problem that WWE doesn't have as much, but I think a lot of that's because they don't think they can turn that much of a profit for WWE. They can talk about it at least. Instead, they just say, oh, we sold all these tickets. Yeah, but you sold a lot to scalpers, though. Yeah, but we sold a lot. It's annoying. Do I think they'll do a special set design for SummerSlam? No, because they are lazy as fuck. I don't see it. Matt says, Roman's acknowledge me shirt seems a bit desperate. What? Why? He's had that shirt for ages. It works. A lot of people have bought it. Bailey says the scalper business will decline of all electronic tickets. Possibly. Who can tell? They'll find a new way to do it. Serpent says, who have you got dethroning Roman? Not who you'd like, but who you think. I'll go Drew. I also went Drew. Yes, I said a name, and that is exactly the name that I think it is going to be. Megan says, only downside of the segment seen as Brightron spoiled me vibing to Roman's theme. Aww. Brandon says, Cena coming straight out when Roman is holding the title. And so he should. Moxie says, I missed the Wreck Everyone and Leave shirt. It was a good one. Big Pifter. Awful name. Says Punk is going to be huge tonight. No, he's going to be about the same size as he normally is, about 5'10". Serpent says, this is the same guy who once said suffering succotash on TV once. Yeah, how things change. Cora says, canned pineapple in Canada is actually quite dry. Once the liquid is drained, the pineapple should be cut out of the rings first, but put on the pizza last. Okay, thank you for the... Thank you so much for the education on pineapple on pizza, which I will never be eating regardless of the education level that I received. Serpent says different level entirely right now, and he really is. He really is. That man says, I don't mean this shirt is desperate to be sold. I mean Roman seems desperate for wearing it. Again, I don't see what you're seeing there. Just going to have to disagree. Little Tortilla Boy says, Punk about to cause a shockwave through the state of Illinois. To be fair, he's been doing that for weeks already. You reckon we'll get a Punk reference? Not tonight, no. Though to be fair, neither of them are scripted, so it's possible. Chelsea just says, Fruity Pebbles. Rocking the Cena. Matt says, like if you're that big people who acknowledge you don't need to tell them to. He's a heel, mate. I do feel I should tell you that he's a heel. So he kind of has to be doing that. You're very enthusiastic, Kuro. Clearly you're a big fan. We will have to share a pineapple pizza. And by share a pineapple pizza one time, I mean you will have to eat a pineapple pizza while I go and eat literally anything else in the world. Brandon says, plot twist, Punk comes out now on SmackDown to end the show and is actually rejoined WWE. He fucking hates WWE. Very unlikely. Hello, Lauren. Cena and Reigns are indeed on right now for the last 10 minutes. Serpent says, I'm tapping out to enjoy this promo war and then get some Punk. Night, everyone. Good night, Serpent. Pleasure to see you. Please drop in again soon. Did I react to the end of Raw? No, because Raw was terrible. My BT Sport wouldn't let me watch it, so I went to bed. I know, Matt. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Of course they are. Of course they are. CM Punk's literally there. Any SummerSlam prediction? My SummerSlam prediction show happened a couple of hours ago. It's available now on YouTube, and you can watch the full thing. That sounds terrible. That genuinely sounds disgusting to me. Ugh. Megan says, I just like to think of it as, okay, someone doesn't like pineapple on pizza, more for me. Good response. Very good response. Convincing me to try it, it's not going to happen. People still get really tempted. Okay, Lauren, me too. Chelsea says, what time UK will we see Punk and how will we return? And will we speak on the mic or just do a Christian? I have absolutely no idea for literally any of those questions, Christian. Well, thank you for asking. Oh, Chelsea, I should say. I don't remember the last time Roman lost. Before he came back. I don't know. It's a good question. Right, 5 minutes left. Let's get into this. Cena looks like he's destroying the guy right now. Oh, he's going for the 1, 2, 3 thing again. That's annoying. Brendan says, say what you will about Cena, but no one can deny he knows how to hype a crowd up. And you're absolutely right, because that crowd is loving it. Goro says, Tony mentioned a major announcement was opening the show of Rampage. Yep, but he also has multiple announcements, apparently. Goro says, hi guys, just got home from the game. Been watching SmackDown on my phone. It's been a great show. It has been a lot of fun. That's very true. It has been a lot of fun. How do you think he will do it, though? I'm honestly not sure, Chelsea. I don't want to speculate at this point. It'll happen when it happens. Anything I say is a complete guess. Little Tortilla Boy says, it's been years since I've actually been hyped for a Cena match. I wouldn't say that's the case for me. I mean, Cena Styles was some great stuff. We haven't really seen a lot of him recently, but we got him now. Yes, he's definitely at Rampage. Connecting People says, finally we get the Roman Cena segment. It's been a while. And so far, Roman really hasn't said much. Brandon says, hopefully he mentions jumping over the guardrail with the title again, referencing Punk. I don't think he'll be referencing Punk tonight. I really don't. I'll keep an eye out for you, mate, because I usually spot you on like Raw and stuff. I'll keep an eye out for you. Banks Belair. That's the most exciting one for me so far. But honestly, I can't say a favourite match because none of them have happened yet. The 1, 2, 3 thing is pissing me off. Roman needs to up his game here. That's a good line. They improvise, except for Orton, who is scripted. It's a very different situation. No idea. Brandon says, I love how composed Roman is. He isn't like a Brock who would have just beaten Cena up by now. Yeah, I very much like that it's a very different Roman. Very different. Why? Jill says this 1, 2, 3 needs to stop about 7 times too many. He's basically creating false finishes already, which is clever. No, Lauren, and neither did you. There are no controversial pictures of Ric Flair. Oh, Roman. Oh, that was a stupid ending. That was a ridiculous ending. Lauren, again, completely different situations. 2 very different people. And Corey, yes, Roman has closed SmackDown. Again, Lauren, you have not seen controversial pictures of Ric Flair. They don't exist. You didn't see what you thought you saw. So yeah, that was crap. Right. Okay, let's do the switch. Plug in here. Are we good? I think we're good. I hope we're good. Can everybody hear me? Please let me know if you can't hear me. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Jill says, now I just don't care about the match because it's obvious Roman is winning. Yep, absolutely. Little Tortilla Boy says, I wonder if we'll see Buddy Murphy in 2 weeks, which is beautifully right before All Out. Possibly. I don't think AEW will pick him up. If Roman loses, yes, he is leaving, but he's not going to lose. Main event of SummerSlam will be Roman versus Cena. Are we getting a career versus title thing on this match? That's the wrong sodding one. Yes, we are. Mike says, you're good. Thank you. Nope, they don't exist, but I really hate to think that another Lauren has had to see fake Rick's nudity. Ugh. And yes, Michael, it was obvious from the beginning. Right, okay, how do we do this? Moxie, that's not going to happen. Don't be ridiculous. Roman's going to win the match and then stay in WWE. Roman will never go to AEW. Right, I don't know how big a delay I'm facing, to be clear. So you guys may need to bear with me a little bit while I work this out. The largest crowd in AEW history. They mention the best in the world immediately. Really hyping this up. Okay, so I want this over here. Okay. And can I move that over there so I can see? Sorted. Okay, I'm all set. And I'm watching Rampage. That's what's happening now. Okay, what am I up to? What am I up to? Interesting name. Who do you think will win, Sasha or Bianca? Sasha. I've always thought Sasha is going to win. Moxie says Roman is that much winning, whatever that is. Lauren is hyped. Roman was going for an AA. We'll see that tomorrow at SummerSlam. Ed is hyped for Pyro. Tortilla Boys is just genuinely hyped. So much hype. There are 4 people in the commentary team. There are 4 people in the commentary team. I'm going to struggle with that. Got to be honest. This should be interesting. Lauren says they opened on a CM Punk sign. I kid you not. Good, and so they should. He's the story here. That's a big CM Punk chant. JR in place of Jericho. Good. Jericho annoyed a lot of people last week. CM Punk chants are going off. And again, so they should. That's what you'd expect. Lauren says it's going to be a wreck if Chick Magnet Punk isn't here. Thankfully, he is. In fact, here he is. Mark Henry isn't very talkative. That's nice. CM Punk has indeed arrived. I told you he'd be there. Has indeed arrived. The rumors were true. The legend lives on. My stream has already crashed. Well done, Fight TV. You're doing a great job, apart from, not. Okay, let's try this again. You did, Lauren. You got to see it with us. That's nice. No, Michael, the guy from Body Slam only reported that Daniel Bryan would debut in September 22nd. And my stream is not working at all. I'm gonna have to start this all over again. Okay. It's just completely crashed. Are you just gonna keep creating accounts? Because I have more patience than you do, just so you know. I can't see any of it. My stream's immediately crashed. I think Fight TV is just completely overloaded. Yep, it's just not loading at all. Okay, guys, bear with. Cheers, Ed. I just want something that works. It shouldn't be hard. Literally nothing's working. This may not go somewhere, you know? This may be a dead end. But hey, I got to see him walk out. Got to see that he's there. I respect that they didn't fuck about. You know? He just walked out. There was no pissing about. He literally just walked out. I think I'm gonna have to call it there, to be honest with you guys, because it's not working. It is full on not working. Chelsea, what do you think I'm doing, mate? It's just constantly loading and loading and loading. No, I'm good. See, here's the thing. The whole plan was to see CM Punk. I've seen CM Punk, and now it's not working, and I'm a little annoyed by that. But at the same time, I'm all good. I can wrap it up there, and I can leave that be. Because we had CM Punk, I can catch up on the news tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. I can wrap it up there. It's disappointing, but we can sort something out for future. Okay, we can sort something out for in the future. I wanted to do this one, but I need to find a way for it to work. And Fight TV's let me down. Fight TV has let me down. So I am going to call it there. I'm going to wrap it up, leave you guys to enjoy it. I don't have to, Chelsea. It's fine. I'll watch it in the morning. It'll all work out fine. I'm not worried. Okay? It's going to be absolutely fine. So I'll wrap it up there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for SummerSlam. And yeah, we may sort something out for more AEW in future. We may have like a Discord watch party, like Ed, you've suggested a bit there. We have some sort of Discord watch party or something like that. We may work something out, depending on what you guys want and what other people are after as well. But yeah, my stream has completely crashed and died. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Chelsea, I've tried to refresh it several times, mate. I'm on my 5th attempt. It's not working. Yep, I'd imagine people are having the same problem, but it's also 3 a.m. And I've seen he was there, and that's all I was really tuning in for. So I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave this one be. I'm going to see you tomorrow for SummerSlam, okay? Until then, at least he was here, and at least we got to enjoy him. Have a good night, everybody. I've been Tom Colahue. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and thank you, everybody, for having fun with me today. CM Punk's back. It's CM Punk Day. It's real. Good night, everybody.